What is going on, movie lovers? Brian and Jacob here, and we are here for episode number 6. If it's number 6, 106, issue 106, I don't know.
601.
601, we're all over the place.
Which would make no sense.
The 6th installment of Nerd Nation. We got some Marvel to talk about. Obviously, we have the big and most exciting news that Spider-Man is returning to the MCU. And then our second topic will be that there are some heavy rumors going around that we could be seeing the Netflix characters and Netflix actors possibly staying and making a reappearance in the MCU in some capacity, which would be pretty exciting. But it's just me and Jacob Bartley today. It's a quiet little table. Jake's off at a A's playoff game. Lucky him. But
Boo A's!
Oh yeah, I got a Giants fan, so
boo.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I'm here with Jacob. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. So I was thinking we should have superhero names for this show.
You know what's funny? I was literally thinking that the other day, but I was kind of like, well, I guess their names are. I mean, I guess you could come up with a nickname.
We can't think of something on the spot, but saying long term, think
something
about
on
it.
the spot. We can't even figure out Star Wars. I've been going on
for over a year.
3 years
Dude,
for
it's
me. Well, Jake hates
Admiral
that it's
Sino.
Grand Admiral Avalosino.
No, it's Grand Admiral Sino. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's supposed to be Grand Admiral Sino.
Yeah,
That's it. Anyways, we'll think of some superhero
Obi-Wan
names.
Jacoby.
Yeah. We'll figure that out. Anyways, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is back. It took a little over a month, which is actually like not that long.
No, it felt long, but it wasn't that long. We're just crazy as fans that we, of course in this day and age we blow these stories out of proportion, but in reality, like, it should have just never been reported. It should have been kept behind closed doors, and they just announced a deal later.
Yeah.
I
think I literally saw on Instagram, like, someone made, like, a timeline of, like, when the news broke to it getting fixed, and I think it was literally, like, a month and, like, 8 days. And it literally felt like 3 to 6 months. It felt like it went on.
Dude, it really did feel like a long time.
So, but yeah, we now know that Spider-Man will be back in the MCU. For a Spider-Man 3, and then we know that he will be a part of some mysterious movie off in the future, which, I mean, everyone's kind of already expecting it to be New Avengers, because, I mean...
Yeah, or Avengers 4, whatever, like, it's not going to be called Avengers 4, but it'll be Avengers something.
Yeah, so some team-up movie is more than likely what it's going to be. But
Avengers Lost in Time, the Kang the Conqueror finally appears.
I think they save Kang till like the end,
the very end,
because he's.
Well, we kind of already had a time travel movie though.
Yeah,
and
but
Kang is a time travel villain.
Yeah, but can you imagine?
What if this is a possibility. All the time traveling stuff in Endgame that they messed up brings Kang in.
I always imagined Kang being the MCU's like.
But wouldn't that make sense though for him to?
Oh they're now manipulate. He's a time travel person.
They did something that either awakened him or brought him attention towards them.
Yeah,
something like that.
Hear me out though. This is how I have always imagined Kang. I like how we're going off on a tangent about
random,
but I always imagined him being like the very last villain that travels through like all the history of the MCU, like revisiting certain things. So like at the very end, say the MCU's finally ending, just be like, can you imagine like going back through all these characters trying to stop him? Like, it'd be dope.
Could do something like that, yeah.
Anyways, all right, back to Spider-Man. So so we know he's back in the MCU. Huge news, because we thought for a while, I mean, granted, you've got people that knew something was going to eventually fall into place, but so we're guaranteed 2 movies, but the most interesting and potentially bomb dropping is that he is pretty much now going to jump back and forth between Sony's Venom.
Well, Kevin Feige said that he's so excited that they came up with a deal, and he said he's one of the most beloved superheroes. He's the only superhero who can travel between two cinematic universes, which is literally him saying that he's gonna be involved with the Venom and maybe even the Into the Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah,
and somehow it's all connected, and then also be in the MCU, which would in turn make those universes connected somehow. I don't think he's going to be a different character, like a different version of Peter Parker in those movies, and then this Peter Parker in these movies.
Yeah, it would make no sense, but I almost wish that whenever he goes into like the Venom ones, it's like him going into like a multiverse different version.
It could be a situation where, you know how in Endgame there's different timelines, right?
Yeah.
And when they go and travel back to 2012 or whatever, it's them, but it's different and it can be altered. So maybe he is Tom Holland as Spider-Man in that world, but it's not the same one that we have.
Yeah.
So it could be a different one.
Yeah, I mean,
you can do that.
Yeah, they can get away with a lot in this. It's interesting because it sounds from what we heard that Sony got the better end of this deal. I mean, they now are allowed. The biggest thing is they are now allowed to make references to the MCU.
Was that part of the deal?
That's part of the deal. So they released some of the things that they said, and Sony is now allowed to reference anything that comes out of the MCU. So
interesting.
That means that
so they can play on the snap, or
they can play on anything.
They could have a character who's traumatized from the snap, something like that, because they can reference the MCU.
Yeah. So they now have
the blip.
Yeah, the blip.
The coming back is the blip.
Yeah.
Part.
So I mean, they have access to the MCU because I mean that was a huge bargaining for Disney.
I'm wondering because the original deal had it to where they can use Spider-Man in their movies, and then we'll see MCU characters appear in Spider-Man films. I'm wondering if we could see MCU characters appear in Venom 2, or in Morbius.
I'm sure.
Dude, Blade and Morbius have to interact, right?
Do you realize it would be Blade and Jared Leto? Or Mahershala Ali versus Jared Leto?
Dude, can you imagine? What if Blade's first appearance is in Morbius? Because we know
they'll introduce Blade on his own.
Morbius is coming out first, though. It's already in production.
Yeah, Mobius. Morbius will beat the Blade movie, but, I mean, those are two pretty freaking phenomenal actors to go after each other. There's already rumors of how Blade's going to go about. Like, they're going to try to introduce the by night character. So, like, werewolf by night, vampire by night. But anyways.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so Sony can now reference the MCU, which is huge because with them not making this deal, they had to, if they wanted to make a reference, it had to be like, that guy that flew around in the suit that...
Kind of like the Netflix shows had to make a reference. They would always say the green guy or the event or something.
Yeah.
They were referring to New York.
Yeah, so it was kind of a huge... And it was a huge deal. Sony now has access to say, like, yeah, when Iron Man was that's name dropping is pretty big. I mean,
Stark Industries thing, know, all those type of things.
The Avengers, I mean, anything. We obviously saw when Fox had X-Men, like they couldn't say the word mutants.
Oh yeah,
anything. So I mean, it's a pretty hefty deal. And then we're also hearing that this literally happened because of Tom Holland. Did you hear this?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they literally said like he was calling both CEOs and being like, "You need to figure this now."
Obviously, I'm sure Tom Holland would have been a team player and starred in the Sony films.
Oh, he would have done it.
But
100%.
He wants to be in the MCU. He wants to be
100%.
with the Avengers.
How are you gonna not want to be around dozens
and
of amazing
he's already
actors
in it. Is the thing,
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
he already has a relationship with those characters. Like I said when this news broke, how are you not going to have Happy in another Spider-Man film? Like that would make no sense.
It wouldn't make any sense. Happy was a huge
Happy
one.
is his number one guy now.
Yeah,
in a way,
totally. And then so we're getting Spider-Man 3. Of course, people are already speculating. Oh, what is that going to mean? I mean, they could go.
Well, I'm just so happy because the way Spider-Man Far From Home ended, it's like, how are you going to tell the sequel without being in the MCU?
It would have been a mess. It would have been an absolute mess because there's so much that it was literally left on a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
It was literally like him going, "What?" and then just like ended. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, how would you have referenced all of that stuff without name dropping anything? So it's a huge deal. People would have rioted in the street if they wouldn't have got a closure to that. Not to mention,
it would have just been so awkward of a film. Like everyone would have been thinking about it the whole time they're watching it.
Oh, it would. Yeah, everyone would have been salty about it. Not to mention, you're gonna drop a huge thing like bringing the Daily Bugle. Well, it's not the Daily Bugle. I think it's dailybugle.com or something. And J. Jonah Jameson back into it. Like, I've never screamed like excitement in a movie until that. That was amazing. I was so shocked. Even though people speculated about it before it came out, but I didn't think they would actually do it. Yeah, neither did I. I had no idea that it was going to happen. There are certain things that make me wary of them connecting the two universes, because did you know that in Venom, at the very beginning of the movie, remember how the astronauts crash and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, one of the astronauts is J. Jonah Jameson's son. So that means that character is dead.
Interesting, really?
Yes. It literally says, like,
oh, well,
Jameson.
They can use any of the Spider-Man lore characters.
Yeah, they can. So. But, I mean, if they had plans to use his character, like, he's dead already. Like,
did they say that was him?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah, it says, like, Jameson, or if they said the name. And, yeah. So, I mean, there's certain things that make me worried, but, I mean, Venom in the MCU would be kind of sweet, not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind Tom Holland.
Honestly, I want to see the Osborns. Kevin Feige will get the Osborns right. I love the Osborns in the original films. Yeah. Honestly, I do, and they're such a huge part of Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, until this broke down, they thought we all heard of the Benefactor, and we all thought it was going to be him. They're such a huge
part of Spider-Man, and they're trying to deviate away from the stuff they did in the past, but come on. Give me some Green Goblin. Give me some Harry Osborn.
Or at least, like, a Overlord, like, Kingpin, like, where he's just master of having his hands and everything. Because he's good at that. He isn't just the Green Goblin. So,
I'm so excited because, like, Green Goblin could potentially be an Avengers-level threat.
Norman Osborn is an Avengers level.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Norman Osborn / Green Goblin, and then also Dr. Doom. And so can Magneto. So I'm just excited we have all these possibilities now.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have time between someone like Norman Osborn, who's a huge thing, and Dr. Doom. So them being able to have that.
If they team up or something to take down the Avengers. Can you imagine?
And insane.
The Fantastic Four are involved.
It would be insane.
Incredible, yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, for me, the biggest thing I'm most excited about is seeing that Spider-Man story keep going, especially because this kind of works perfectly into our next topic. There were we know how the movie ended. We know how Spider-Man's identity, Peter Parker, got outed for being Spider-Man, which there's going to be huge ramifications for that. One of the earliest rumors was that he's going to get in trouble for, like, the authorities or something's going to get in trouble, and at some point he's going to need, like, a lawyer. And the earliest rumor was that Marvel wanted Matt Murdock to be his attorney, which would be freaking dope.
I would love that so much.
But once Spider-Man left, they were like, "Oh well, crap." Or once the Netflix stuff went down too.
That's a perfect way to introduce Daredevil.
Yeah, it's perfect for him. And then they also
and you can just say he's, whether it's Charlie Cox or not, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. But even if it's just new Daredevil, you could say he's been Daredevil for a while. But when Spider-Man meets him, he doesn't know.
Yep. And
it's weird because Daredevil has heightened senses, and so does Spider-Man. So I want to see them play off that.
Me too. So we could have had. There was always a rumor that a lawyer would be defending him, and it was always tossed up between Matt Murdock and She-Hulk's
of course.
Lawyer character.
She's getting a show. So
exactly. So it could be making sense
a possibility
that way too. But the latest rumors that's going around is that Disney Marvel, Kevin Feige is interested in bringing back the actors and the characters from the Defenders series. That being Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Kingpin, and Punisher. The funny thing is, it sounds like they have zero interest in Iron Fist, which, to be honest...
how valid is this rumor?
I have no idea. It's one of those ones that's been kind of picking up again. It's funny because I've been checking sites and, like, almost kind of like every day, like, this character's they're interested in bringing this, and the next day it's like this one. No one ever says anything about bringing Iron Fist back, which is kind of funny, because let's be honest, he was the worst of all the Defenders characters. But I think, to me, the thing, if this rumor ends up being true, I think each one of those actors is absolutely perfect in the role that they're in. Yeah. Charlie Cox, absolutely amazing as Daredevil.
Amazing.
I cannot say anything negative.
He's one of my favorite superhero portrayals of all time.
Dressed up as him for Halloween.
I did.
And it was pretty freaking good costume. Yeah. I'll give you that. But, I mean, his series was absolutely amazing. Daredevil's story. Now, we don't know anything if they're going to keep the story or start over with these characters.
I feel like if they did that, if it's the same actors playing those characters, their canon, their history within those shows would still exist. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're either going to do Disney Plus shows or bring them into the films, which I personally would
they technically could use Hulu too now.
That's true.
Disney owns Hulu.
I want to see Daredevil on the big screen, and Charlie Cox is just so perfect in this role.
He is the perfect Daredevil. He is absolutely phenomenal, and he would hold his own in a Spider-Man.
Kristen Ritter she carries that role very well.
Jessica Jones, amazing.
I love her.
Mike Coulter as Luke Cage is
great. Yeah.
See, this is the only problem is then we now get into some things like Mahershala Ali being Cottonmouth.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And Mahershala Ali's aunt in the show, is it his aunt or his older sister?
I think it was his aunt.
Is it his older sister? Whatever. His relative, the woman who becomes like one of the main antagonists in the show, she is the woman who confronts Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
Yeah.
So that makes me think they're not going to do it. But who knows? Because I would love that. But it's wishful thinking, you know?
Yeah. And then we got Mike Coulter, Luke Cage. His first season was phenomenal. Second season was okay.
I did finish it. I was gonna say I didn't even finish the second season. I did. I did not like season 2.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I hated season 2 of Jessica Jones. Season 3 of Jessica Jones is the one I haven't finished yet. Did you finish that?
Really?
Yeah.
I've watched everything.
I need to finish Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones was so
okay, but you like season 2 with her mom and all that?
It wasn't horrible.
I thought it was horrible.
I didn't mind it. Season 3 was good because it.
Okay,
it
I was liking season 3. I like Trish Walker a lot. I really do.
Her character is phenomenal, and the actress that plays her, I forget her name, but she's really good. But and then also we're forgetting Punisher. Could find.
He's the perfect Punisher.
He is so. He's good.
See, they capture those characters so well, and then Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Can you?
Yep.
How do you pass up on having those actors in those roles?
Yeah, I mean, John Bernthal is amazing as Punisher. He brings such a gloom and doom
perfect
and
as
angry.
Punisher.
Yeah, he's perfect. And then Kingpin was phenomenal. I mean, he's such a perfect ping
pong.
Yeah, he's such a perfect Kingpin.
Yes, and that's one of the greatest, villain hero relationships of all time, and especially in that show.
Can you imagine his character, how Kingpin is with Kingpin's in a lot of different series, and he's actually a pretty big Spider-Man. He gets involved with Spider-Man a lot.
He was originally a Spider-Man villain.
So I mean, he would be pretty dope.
I mean, he's the main villain in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So I mean, that is true, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he would be all of those. What is it? 5 that I said? Yeah. 5 or 6 are great. Iron Fist. You can redo that one. I don't think anyone's gonna really be upset.
So this is what I have to have. I have to have Charlie Cox back.
Yep.
I have to have John Bernthal back.
Yep.
And I have to have Vincent D'Onofrio back. The rest I can live without. But I love Kristen Ritter and Mike Coulter. I thought you were
gonna say Colleen Wing. You were gonna.
No. I like her a lot, but I don't need her back. But Kristen Ritter and Mike Coulter, they're great. Yeah. But I could live without them.
I don't feel like
I can't live without the other 3.
I know you. Yeah, you especially. I think that it would be interesting. Here's my thing with Luke Cage. Luke Cage can start being in stuff very easily because he could be that hero for hire. He could be the
and he
superhero
fits in
for profit.
Because he also could. Let's say, just for example, you're going to have him in an Avengers movie, right? Mm-hmm. He's indestructible, so he can go on those Avenger missions and hold his own.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I mean, I guess you have Hawkeye and Black Widow out there, so if they can be out there, so can Daredevil.
My God. Daredevil, yeah, absolutely. Daredevil, I feel like they're going to use him with other characters.
Yeah.
But it's going to be one of those things where, he's just as cool as the other one in it. But, God, can you imagine Charlie Cox with Tom Holland?
I think that would be amazing.
They would be so good. It would be insane. They could honestly, I would love to see, a Marvel MCU level, New York crime stuff with these New York type heroes trying to and that's kind of what Defenders
they do some stuff in the comics like that where I read a little bit of Daredevil recently, and there's things where I think Kingpin was doing something where it was going to really cause damage to New York, and it was the mission was to save New York, and he got Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all those people together to save their city. And can you imagine, we're always saving the world, and it's not even save the city from an alien invasion. It's save the city from the crime within the city, which would be cool.
Something without powers, really, to crime lord that's just a crime lord, like an ultimate boss, which I think it would be so dope for the MCU just to have like a grounded, like no, like really
almost like a mob film in a way, a crime mob film in the MCU where you actually have Spider-Man and Daredevil in it, you know?
Oh my god. Can you imagine how dark they would make Punisher? Punisher they could make dark.
I mean, he's dark in the show, so...
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, John Bernthal is so good at that character, and just all of the ones that they have thought about bringing back I would welcome with open arms. And then I did read with Iron Fist that maybe potentially down the line they could throw him into Shang-Chi with that whole karate, kung fu type.
I don't think it's the actor's fault. That show is
just garbage.
The writers and the directors. Yeah. It's the guy's not a bad actor. You just can't hide it. Nothing the dialogue and everything was just so off, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
Season 2 wasn't as bad as Season 1 in my opinion, but still.
No, it wasn't.
But I mean, you could... Even the side characters, like the two people he grew up with, were just...
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and that's a pretty big...
But there were good things about it.
What's
her name?
Colleen Wing.
She was incredible. Dude,
she was
going
great.
to MMA fights and just whooping dudes' butts like on her own.
I would love to see her back in Marvel.
I like her a lot.
Some type of like main role, badass chick type role.
Well, I remember she was one of the pilots in The Force Awakens too. At the end, one on Poe's team. You know, there's an Asian woman in one of the pilots. That's her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And I always thought like she was gonna come back or something in Star Wars.
She went off with Snap Wexley.
Oh, you're right. She did.
Yeah, so she might.
Maybe they returned for and JJ did The Force Awakens. Anyways, it's not Star Wars talk.
But I would love to see. And you know,
hey, bring her back as the Iron Fist and just say the other dudes died or something. That's.
There would be a lot of retcon that they'd have to...
Alright, even though Iron Fist Season 2 is better than Season 1, the last scene of Iron Fist Season 2 is like a joke. I know it's a play on the comic books. Remember when they're in the bar and what is he doing? He's like using his hands and he's shooting stuff out of his hands? What does he do?
So that's an actual Iron Fist. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. Like, that's an actual...
But he passed on the... actual Iron Fist to her, right?
Yeah, and it's like the powers of a second Iron Fist.
Yeah, it was so... The way that scene is just shot is so hilarious. It's almost like a spoof of a comic book movie.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Iron Fist back because Rand Industries is kind of big in the comics.
I wouldn't mind it.
So it would make sense to kind of like rebrand that. Maybe he's like kind of like not...
Can you... I mean, not that they have any obligation to anyone, but that would kind of be messed up if, hey, we're bringing all you guys back except you, man. Sorry.
I mean, it's a cutthroat industry.
It is, yeah.
But, I mean, when you talk about these Netflix shows, which one are you probably talking about least? Most people are talking about Daredevil, Punisher.
And the thing is, I seriously, it doesn't, I'm not too sensitive when it comes to, my fandom. I'm okay with a lot of things, but I was heartbroken when they canceled Daredevil. Because
you and me both. I think a lot of people.
Season 3 might be, I'm still determining this, but Season 3 might be the best comic book TV season ever made, in my opinion. It's one of the Daredevil seasons. It's one of the Daredevil seasons, or Arrow Season 2, got a shout out. But
you and Jake.
It's amazing. But the thing is, I freaking love Bullseye in Season 3 so much.
They did him right.
Dude, that character had so much depth, and I just... and the actor did such a great job.
He was great.
And I love the fights between Daredevil and Bullseye. Yep. So incredible when you just throwing baseballs against the wall and it's hitting him. But then when they got up close, Daredevil had the advantage.
Yep.
I'm gonna rewatch season 3. I'm gonna rewatch the whole show. Like season 1
really is. Daredevil never really stopped being good.
It made Daredevil one of my favorite superheroes. I always liked Daredevil, but now he's in my top 10 because of that show.
He's a great character. And, I think, like I said, we would welcome any of these actors coming back, minus Iron Fist, with open arms into the MCU, which...
but honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it causes too much conflict and confusion. Not that everyone's going to be like, wait, what? Why is it Mahershala Ali? Why is he Blade? It's not that. It's just... I think they want a clean slate. I
think what they'll end up coming down to, they'll bring back Charlie Cox for Daredevil, and they'll bring back John Bernthal for Punisher. I think those two are the ones that they're... And Kingpin. And
their ancillary characters as well. Right. So, like, the characters only on the Daredevil show. You know what I mean?
I don't even think they bring back them. Maybe I think they start that stuff fresh, and they... Because, I mean, you could technically retell...
So, are you saying that he's not going to actually be that Daredevil? It's just he's playing a new Daredevil, but it's Charlie Cox? Because what are you going to say happened to Foggy and Karen?
Probably. It'll probably be like that. I mean, you can get away with kind of like
soft rebooting the characters in a way.
If he's in trouble, like Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock, hey, I'm a lawyer, let me help you.
And they don't eventually find out. Foggy and them, like, they don't have to.
No, they don't. And they could eventually just be like, hey, I'm a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe he finds out that he's this vigilante on the side. John Bernthal, I mean, you can really kind of just restart that. He's just an awesome Punisher.
Yeah, I can totally see Matt Murdock goes to, be Spider-Man's lawyer, and then Spider-Man slowly starts to figure out that he's Daredevil. Because he's Spidey senses and stuff.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah, but I mean... That's our two topics for today for Nerd Nation. We got a little bit of...
And we tied them both together, Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Right? We went perfectly into it. Well,
totally
it was supposed to be all the Netflix ones, but we sucked Daredevil a little bit. But it's, obviously earned.
Because if they're going to do one, it's going to be him, I think.
Yeah.
Him and Punisher.
It would be a coin toss between him and Punisher, and I think Daredevil would probably win. But, that's our Nerd Nation episode 6, volume 6. Volume 106.
601.
601. Who knows what it is? It's the 6th episode.
Issue number 6.
Yeah, issue number 6. It's a nice little joke we got going on. But, So, for Apocaflix movies, obviously you got me, Brian, host of this show, and Jacob Bartley here with me. Hopefully next time we'll have a few more voices. But, it wasn't too bad of a show so far. But hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got... great stuff coming in the next week or two, and hit that like button if you enjoyed what you heard, and leave us a comment. What did you think about either of these two topics? Are you back on the hype train for Spider-Man like everyone else? I don't think anyone really
wasn't, yeah.
But or maybe the potential of some of these Netflix superheroes coming back into the MCU. But for Apocaflix movies, I'm Brian. We'll talk to you guys later.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix movies, click this video up here. You want something a little bit different? Check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.